in 2012. But right now we're going to pause in memory of those gallant heroes, many thousands of whom laid down their lives in the Normandy landings of D-Day 70 years ago. Our referee Phil Bentham will blow a whistle, which will bring the stadium to silence as we stand in respect for a minute's silence.
In Nazi-occupied Western Europe. Victory in that battle ensued and led to the restoration of the French Republic and certainly contributed to the ultimate success of the Allied campaign. And although the victory was the outcome, it came at a price. Tens of thousands of Allied forces never returned home, having given their ultimate sacrifice for the benefit of their nations. We now invite you to join us in a minute's silence to commemorate those lives given in this operation, as we remember for our tomorrow they gave there today.
Well, we often talk about sporting arenas in metaphor as battlegrounds, but the reality that has been brought home to us all again this week in memory reminds us of the bravery of those many, many thousands. This is the way they're lining up today. Bradford, in a year of adversity, there has been plenty of patching up on the pitch. One of their big men, Antonio Kofuzi, is cup-tied. Another star, Brett Kearney, injured. Chev Walker, an unlikely prop for them today. It's down the middle that they've done most of their makeup and men. Warrington, looking a well-balanced side this. Richie Myler, outstanding against Leeds last week, starts at scrum half today. Bridge alongside him, and another eye-catching player, Stefan Ratchford, at loose forward. And our referee today is Phil Bentham. Richard Silverwood is the man in the TV truck today, the video referee, who will have a look at any of those controversial decisions. Tim Roby and Clint Sherrod, the men who are running the line this afternoon for this Challenge Cup tie. Bradford were the last side to beat Warrington 5 weeks ago, but since then the Wolves have produced some scintillating form. It is the side in the mainly blue outfits today who start as very strong favourites. Bradford will have to lift it here. They did it last week against Wakefield in a Super League game they dubbed a must-win occasion. By definition, in terms of the Challenge Cup, this also is a must-win occasion. But a former Warrington hero alongside us, you'll be making Warrington favourites here today, won't you?
Yeah, I think you've got to start as favourites. Home advantage, you know, will benefit the Bradford Bulls. I know with all the problems they're going through, you know, the only way you can get away from it is on the field. So, you know, that could give them the motivation.
Well, here's a good start. Luke Gale's kick. Oh, a very unkind bounce. That was for all money.
How unlucky was that?
40-20, but it curled away.
It's very, very unlucky. But, you know what this pitch is like. This kick, you think that's going out, but the corners do curl up a little bit, so you have to chase them straight.
It's a legacy of the old Speedway track that used to be here, isn't it?
Don't give up on a little grubber kick to the corner.
Here's England with a good, strong carry towards that halfway line. Watching that replay, I still thought it was going out.
Me too. I thought it was a great kick from Gale and a great way to start the game. And I think the start's really important for this Bradford team. I think they've got to be clinical in the way they complete their sets and find a decent kicking game. But unfortunately, they're given a penalty there where to give Warrington some field position.
Yeah, very early, good field position for Warrington. I think John Merkley made a good point. You know, they miss more tackles than anyone else, Bradford Bulls. If you miss tackles, you lose games. They've got to focus and commit to it and make the tackles.
Cheers, pal.
Well, the tap restart here, we'll see Warrington within 30 metres of that Bradford line. So a chance to razzle-dazzle. They ripped aside a very good Leeds team last week in the Super League, this Warrington side. So they come here in the hottest of form. England with the ball back on the inside to Chris Hill, who's going to be tackled 12 metres out. Michael Monaghan will go running away with a little dummy. He had Myler to his side, he used him as a foil, but Bradford's defenders are not buying it. But look at this for a very good position. Bridge to Ratchford. Here comes Joel Monaghan with that surge and an urge. Quick play. Ratchford is off from dummy half. Thought he had spotted a route through, but he hadn't. I think he's lost it in there.
Good defence, Bradford. Good defence, Bradford. At first and an early test. Warrington showing their prowess. I think the critical thing for Bradford today to compete in this game is that they don't allow Warrington to get some ruck speed. What I mean by that is them playing the ball quickly. They've got too many good players, too many fast players that will trouble this Bradford team if they get ruck speed.
Yeah.
Interesting to hear you, Brian Noble, talking about Stefan Ratchford as well, because he's been moved around, hasn't he? He's a really good player, but he's been moved around to different positions this year especially. Do you think this is the best balanced Warrington pivot lineup that we've seen so far, with Ratchford at loose forward, Myler and Bridge as the halves?
It would look that way. You know, Ratchford has been all over, mainly due to injuries and new personnel coming in, but I think he's comfortable in the role he's playing now. He's got plenty of industry. And here's Luke with another attempt at a long clearance kick. But I agree. I think this Ratchford and Bridge and Myler in the halves, it seems to have that, you know, synergy about it, doesn't it?
Richie Myler's had injury problems this year. He came on a sub last week against Leeds and was superb. Starts today at scrum half. Bridge been outstanding as well this year. Here's Ormsby, one of several in this Warrington side who have come through the ranks as well. They don't normally get the credit that perhaps they deserve, Warrington. They do bring a few of the kids through, don't they? Hill with a short pass. Anthony England. Michael Monaghan waits at dummy half. Here's Bridge with the inside ball to Hill. He's got a bit of footwork, and as you can see, he's got that offload about him as well. Myler. It's Curry, but not going far.
I think they've got to move up Bradford. They're just standing off for him at the moment, and they are lateral offloads.
Bridge again.
Well, I think they have to keep their line. I agree with they have to come forward more. But this Warrington team, what we haven't concentrated on is they're a fabulous offloading team. I'm going to 2 and 3 and 4 phases of play.
It's Myler's kick. And it's taken very well by Gaskell. And I was going to say he was taken in the air, so it might be a penalty, but in fact,
I think it was a late tackle, Dave.
There was a Bradford player in the way, wasn't there?
No, that was a late tackle, I think.
Well, I think
definite shoulder charge on Richie Myler. Just watch. Nothing in it really. But he's just sort of pulled out to that tackle. Had plenty of time. Manapakua.
Okay, let's have the ball, Lee.
Swansea International.
Discipline's been poor for Bradford, hasn't it? But you know, we've only played 5 minutes and they've given 2 penalties away. They put themselves under pressure.
Well, can they hang on here? Here comes Curry. He's going to be held up within sight of glory. Monaghan spins it back to Myler. Couple of runners either side, but Bridge is the man who then picks out Harrison. And he's lost possession. The referee says play on, and Gaskell picks it up, and Bradford survive.
They needed that let-off. Looking really threatening at the moment, Warrington, and they survived through a bit of poor handling skills from Ben Harrison. I'm not sure that's a great play from
taking a few risks here, aren't
Walker
they?
Either.
Donald Sunday, the Cumbrian lad, the Whitehaven lad, who's just outside the 10 metres when he's put down. Tough work to be done here. Matty Blythe, ex-Warrington player, of course.
They're struggling to make the yardage here, the Bradford Bulls. Need a quick play of the ball.
Well, that'll help, penalty.
Yeah, Monaghan gets caught up in the tackler's legs, and that'll relieve the pressure.
I think he dropped it.
Yes, well.
on the goal line, Luke, eh?
So the tap restart here on the halfway line. It's a great old ground, this, isn't it, Odsall Stadium? Good drive by Jay Pitts. And Bradford looking to use home advantage here if they can.
I have to say, I didn't play in many times in conditions like this when I played here. So it looked perfect for rugby.
Here's Diskin. Gale. Oh, and Gaskell couldn't quite pick it up off his toes. And it will be out of play. Warrington's head and
Just
feed.
a bit sloppy, aren't they, at the moment? Defensively, offensively, Bradford Bulls, they can't.
Well, they created the numbers there, and the execution of the skill was a poor pass from Gale to Gaskell, and that's Bradford's axis. For our viewers watching, Gale is trying to get to Gaskell all the time.
Well, look at that panorama. It's a wonderful panorama, isn't it? 60 years ago, this last month, of course, since that big crowd, 1954, the Cup replay involving Warrington against Halifax. 102,000 packed into this ground. That was the official attendance. Many reckon it was much more than 102,000. All the roads for many miles were jammed and gridlocked.
Second, release, Chev. Wait.
Here's Monaghan. Michael Monaghan. It is Gene Ormsby.
Move. Wait, score, well back. 3.
Bridge. Myler looking on for Harrison.
4. Move.
Here's Bridge again. Warrington rolling forward and going through the tackles, and England with a lovely little twist and turn, but Rashford couldn't keep hold of it. But here comes the return from Luke George. Well, he almost got the pass away.
Well, that was a free play, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. 0 tackles. So this is the first. Here comes Gaskell. Oh, and Gaskell, I think, has lost it. Yes, he has.
What are they doing? They're trying to just offload. They need to keep possession and build momentum a little bit.
I'm going to try to offload.
I think if Luke George stays alive there is actually a pass on, and
yep.
I think Gaskell was trying to bring it back in because he hadn't stayed alive, and they're not going to beat Warrington with 5 drives and a kick, and I don't mind this kind of enterprise, but early in the game they need to get in the game, build a little bit of nerves, build a bit of pressure, and then probably chance your arm.
Okay. All right, boys, heads in. Out.
Here's Atkins.
First, move, Matt. Hold, go 1.
Michael Monaghan.
Just watch the hand, mate. Don't be the last thing out. Yep. On 1,
Here's
on
Curry.
1, on 1.
Keeping it alive really well here.
2, move.
England put down.
It's a great angle there.
He's certainly getting involved in the early stages of Michael Monaghan.
3.
Trying to dummy his way through.
They're on the front foot now, Warrington. Quick play of the ball.
Ratchford again, spinning it out now. Bridge just carrying it. Defenders clambering all over him. But look where the goal line is. It's that close here for Warrington again. Ratchford. England has lost it. Backwards, the referee says. Who's got it? Who's got it?
Knock on, mate. You've knocked it, then Matt's picked it up.
It'll be a Bradford feed, I would think.
Warrington's head and feet, I think.
No, he can't go to video for that.
He's tried offloading.
Yeah, it went backwards. Yeah, but it went backwards.
Offload it, and Sane's gone backwards.
Well, it says gone backwards. Manakafor got a touch. Diskin dropped on it, and that's why he's given head and feet to Warrington here.
Right, it looked like it went back. All right. Okay, boys.
Francis Cummings, once a boy wonder in this competition, 17 years of age when he played for Leeds at Wembley in 1994. These days,
1 missing, yep, that's it.
the heavy weight of pressure of being the Bradford Bulls head coach. Not that he looks to have changed much over the years.
Winner, out.
Bridge with a feed. Here's Joel Monaghan.
1, release.
Good effort
Go.
by Matty Blythe to get over the ankles, but look at the speed here of the play the ball, but Ormsby is swamped
Second, move.
by all those defenders quickly recovering their
back on 2.
poise.
Hands off him, goal 2.
Joel Monaghan. Michael Monaghan. England.
Putting some work in England, isn't he? He's running some really good angles.
Stay back on 3.
3 tackles for Bradford to survive again here as Warrington come knocking on the door once more, and Bridge has lost it. Well, there's been a lot of handling mistakes. We could have forgiven it yesterday when the rain was pouring down, but surely not today in the sunshine of Bradford.
Perfect conditions today. But you have to say, the defence has been solid. They've really hit. Look, he doubled up in a tackle, 1 low, 1 high, dislodged the ball.
And I think one of the small issues for Warrington, and they'll get to grips with this, they're a team that do like to offload. Their front rowers go into contact with the view to trying to get the ball out and release it, and that sometimes brings out a few more errors than an average team that doesn't look to offload.
Well, 11 minutes played, Bradford have had to make twice as many tackles as their opponents so far.
Goal. Back to the calls.
Which is borne out by the position that Warrington have had for the most part. 71% territory in Warrington's favour. Here's Blythe. Oh, a heartbreak by Danny Addy. Final tackle coming up. Luke Gale again will put boot to ball. He's looking for that big gap between the winger Rhys Evans and the fullback Russell. It's Rhys Evans who collects it safely enough, the Welsh international. And back to the 20-metre mark. John Wilkin, what are your early thoughts on this game? Down on the touchline.
I think Hill and England have started fantastically well for Warrington, but one interesting point is Stefan Ratchford. Playing him at loose forward allows Warrington to move the ball much more. You've seen him move the ball laterally a great deal in this first opening sort of 10 minutes. And the reason they've lost the ball is that movement, but it's also very threatening as well.
Well, there's a feature of Warrington over the years, isn't it, under Tony Smith? They do like to keep the ball alive. He's not bothered about the mistakes because they very often produce positive results, don't they?
Goal.
Keeping the ball alive.
He's square. He's square. Ball square.
Amazing the amount of work Chris Hill does. You know, he takes the drives up as well, but he's there for the offload, and he's also a ball player as well.
He's clear.
Richie Myler with a kick. Tester again. Curry gets the ball knocked back. Still the fifth tackle. Rhys Evans with a chip over the top, but it's straight into the hands of Gaskell. At least Evans got there to make the tackle.
And just picking up on that point from Jiffy, I reflect what Jamie Peacock said. He's very, very strong and powerful, Chris Hill, as well as a smart footballer.
They use him a lot, don't they?
There's Luke George. His dad Wilf was a Wembley hero as well, wasn't he? Halifax against Saints in
biggest hamstrings I've ever seen on a player. It looked like his legs went back to front. They were that big.
Back on Warrington. Goal 4.
Diskin.
You would have seen him from behind, wouldn't you?
All the time. I thought he was
He's
running
lost the ball here. Warrington have it back. Harrison.
Again, you know, Cummins, the coach, won't be happy. Haven't had much ball. You've got to just keep it.
Atkins.
Well, the Dyke will break with that amount of errors. 8 errors, I think. I'm looking on the stats there.
And again,
the penalty
discipline.
now, so.
You know, what we all know what a good attack side want now. You can't give them possession as much as they have in your own half.
Here comes Hill with the drive. Big effort from the Bradford defence required again here. It seems like only a matter of time. And Myler will dart over. Wonderful footwork against a tiring defence. And Richie Myler is in to score. And Warrington inevitably, it would seem, have the lead.
Well, they haven't helped themselves, as we mentioned. You know, they've given possession away. They've had poor discipline, and the pressure has finally told on them. And they've, you know, Myler has scored. But then again, there was nothing really on. It's just a change of direction, and the defence on the inside was slow to react and a little bit lazy.
Well, there's a penalty that gives them the free field position, and it's fatigue. All the defence they've done, Myler and he's stepping on the inside defence on Diskin and Manafakoa. They're picking out the tired defenders. He's a smart player. Right foot step, and the Wolves into the sheep's den. There he goes. Big hole.
Big hole. All the forwards are there. You know, slightly tired because of all the defence they've done, but they've got to move up and they've got to hold that line.
Well, they have to close the gate as well, Jiffy, and they didn't. You know, they left it wide open. Myler's too good a player.
Here's Bridge to add the 2. And over it goes. Warrington lead 6-0. Thoroughly deserved for the spell of pressure they've had so far.
Well, look at the inside. 2 people stood under the post. They react too late. I think one of them's Chev Walker, one of them's Manafakoa, and a great example there of what the prowess and the possession that Warrington have had. It takes its toll on Bradford's bigger blokes.
And it must have been of the case there. Chev Walker, he's usually playing the centre on the wing. He's playing right in the centre.
He's having to do the tough stuff, Jiffy. You know, the stuff that you do on the fringes. There you go, you see. It's hard work in there.
Gone from winger to prop.
If you're just wondering about the little celebration symbol that Richie Myler put on there, joining the fingers together, it's the joining Jack symbol for young Jack Johnson. And the efforts that are being made to raise awareness and raise money for the Duchenne muscular dystrophy cause to find a cure.
One, Muji! Hold, boys. Go one.
Michael Monaghan, the dummy half. Ben Harrison drives it forward.
Okay, Matt. Hold. Go two.
Myler again. Here's Curry down that left channel. I think the best that Bradford can say, given the amount of ball that Warrington had, is that they're only 6-0 behind at this stage.
Yep, could have been far worse, for sure.
Four,
I don't think Warrington have had to kick from their own half yet.
I can't remember, no.
64% possession, 73% position territory.
Back up and hold. Go, that's it. 5.
Here's Monaghan. That's a miscue. That's a miscue. Comedy moment from Michael Monaghan. I think he's allowing himself a little smile there as well.
I think he's caught in two minds then. Does he chip? Does he whack it? Does neither.
Second, Anthony. Wait.
Here's Diskin. This is Manasseh Manaka 4.
3. Move. Goal 3.
Gale.
Good hit.
Release, Chris.
Chris Hill proving he does the tough stuff as well when he's not got the ball in his hands. It's all rather lateral at the moment for the Bradford Bulls. They need a bit more directness, but they're on the sixth tackle here. So back it goes to Gaskell. Spins it high. Matty Russell underneath it.
Yeah, again.
And off he comes.
You know, it wasn't a very good finish to the set. The kick was rushed. It was too far. Very comfortable for Russell.
Rhys Evans.
And again, they're making a lot easy yardage, isn't it? Early yardage, very easy.
Well, they get the win or the offload there.
Curry's given it away.
Good position now for Bradford.
Well, it's the best they've had, isn't it? The best start they've had to a set. What can they do with it? A couple of Warrington mistakes have given them this decent position. Manasseh Manaka 4. Here's Addy. Gaskell quickly to Blythe. Blythe is going no further than that. Muscular response from the Warrington defenders out wide. Here's Addy again.
4, release, Chris. Back up, come on.
Sidlow to his feet. Gale. Testing things out, but it's a little easy for the Warrington defence on that occasion. Donaldson wrestled down, and it's a pickup by Diskin. It's gone backwards. It's still the 5th tackle. Patel gets it away, and a duck, and a dive, and a score by Elliot Keir. Opportunity knocks, and they have taken it.
I thought they missed the opportunity. They should have gone right earlier, but patience is rewarded. The bouncing ball. I think Richie Myler shoots out to the line. Ball goes beyond him. That's a very good finish by Keir.
Yeah, I think they get a bit of luck. I think here's the error, the offload again, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, gets Diskin position and field position. Diskin tries himself and actually loses the ball, but the ball goes backward. Wow, what a ball from Luke Gale to Purtle to create the opportunity on the end there.
It's a great ball, but just watch. Richie Myler shoots out to the line for the intercept. The ball is too good for him, and there's a finish by Keir.
He's been good this year as Elliot Keir. In a team that struggles sometimes with injury and form and all the adversity we've seen, he's kept his place in this team because he's been outstanding with his effort and the way he finishes like that.
He's made a speciality of it throughout his career, because you had him at Crusaders, and all due respect, you weren't winning trophies, but he was always a good player then as well, wasn't he? And with the Welsh national team too.
He played fullback, he played wing, he played centre. His game, I think there's an expression in the game, his game, he's just such a good competitor.
Famously, of course, he comes from that very sporting Welsh school, Whitchurch High School, that the same year Gareth Bale and Sam Warburton came out of, the three of them. Elliot Keir, Gareth Bale and Sam Warburton. I wonder who's earning the most of those three.
More than everyone else on the field, I think.
Here's Gale, but he's put it wide. 4 points to 6. And Elliot Keir has got the try.
There's the ball. It's a good finish by Keir.
Tough finish, wasn't it? Ducked his head and got around the chasing Ryan Atkins.
Decent reaction in the rucks.
And at the start of the game and while following this game through at quarter point, we would have said it was just a 2-point ball game. So, but they're back in it.
Oh, that's a mistake from Bradford, allowing it to bounce.
Just making it difficult for themselves.
I don't think Bradford could approach the game in a harder way. You know, 4 penalties, errors, free field position, the one break they get a score, and then they kick off and it goes out in the dead. And we spoke about them getting a good start. Well, they've had a bad start and they're still in the game.
A dreadful start.
There's a real rallying cry went up at this club ahead of that big Super League game last week against Wakefield. Had they lost against Wakefield, you would have said more or less fate sealed. They're going to have to get used to the fact that they will be relegated this year. The win last week has given them a glimmer. And they could do with lifting spirits with a cup run to the semi-finals at least, but it's Warrington who are bossing things just at the moment. Here comes Harrison. In the absence of Ben Westwood, he's been producing in the last couple of weeks. Out it goes to Myler. They've got the numbers here, and Atkins will slide between any defenders that were there, and Warrington re-establishing their authority again.
Again, it's from that mistake that Brian mentioned. You know, they take the restart. Well, they should be down in Warrington's half now, unfortunately. That's just a missed tackle, one-on-one. Luke Gale, isn't it?
It's good feet from Atkins. It's
great
Luke Gale in the line, and Myler with the width pass again, steps on the inside, too strong and too quick, that close to the line, and that's the key. Bradford have been allowing them in their 10-metre through their own doing.
And continuing with the theme of you and players and history, you had him here as a young player at Bradford, didn't you, Ryan Atkins?
And Chris Bridge. They were both signed as youngsters, as 16-year-olds. He came from the Bramley club with Ryan Atkins, and he moved on to Wakefield after a few years with us, and has made his name, obviously, at the Warrington club.
So here is Bridge, looking to make it a bit of an ex-Bradford double here in terms of the scoring of points. Atkins having touchdown. Bridge, who's landed 1 goal already today, just punches it over the short, uncomplicated running style, and he hoofs it over. It is 4 for Bradford and 12 for Warrington.
There's a pass again. He goes early, Luke Gale, because he knows Atkins is, you know, a lot quicker than him.
And there's Helen Skelton in the crowd, TV presenter and wife of a certain Richie Myler, of course.
Just got to cut their mistakes out, Bradford. That's all they have to do. And as again, John Wilkins said before the game, it's not about, you know, the intricate plays you have to do. It's just cut your mistakes out, keep possession, and you're in the game.
Matty Russell, having spent last year in Australia, back in England. Ratchford out from dummy half and looking to burn them down the middle if he can, but Bridge will now carry on that kind of approach, pushing and probing, and with 5 tackles Warrington have moved deep inside Bradford territory, and Myler looking to finish it with a decent kick. Will it hold up? No, it won't. Just a little overcooked. It's a tap back on the 20.
Well, a little cameo set there of how Warrington are in the prowess when they run quickly as well. Quick ruck speed, find the right position and kick the ball. They're a pretty good team at the moment, and Bradford just can't keep affording to give them free stuff.
Here's Gaskell. Joining in the line. Diskin at dummy half again now. Bradford looking to tough it out once more here as Adam at Sidlow.
Another mistake.
Lost it again, and Harrison will bring it back. It is really punishing, isn't it, in this first half for the Bradford Bulls.
Goal 0.
Monaghan darts off again. Myler showing that fancy footwork. Bouncing off Addy.
Release. And hold. Goal 1.
Hill.
Second.
He's taken them to within 8 metres of that Bradford line. Michael Monaghan left to Bridge. Bridge looking to create a bit of gap here for the men on the outside maybe, but then when he stepped inside, and some willing defenders to block his way.
Goal 3.
Here's Monaghan. It's Russell, who just shows and goes. And there's no stopping him with that kind of intent and that sharpness of step. Warrington have a third try. They're beginning to create a bit of daylight between themselves and the Bradford Bulls.
Well, I think it was that width from dummy half, the pass, and he just ran past Sidlow, I think it was. Just too much speed for him on the outside.
No, there's the mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, well, free field position again. Stop it, Bradford, or it's going to be a tough afternoon, which gives them this kind of field position. And I think it's Sidlow again. He just runs round, so double whammy for him. It's watch this. Matty Russell picks him on the outside. Too much speed.
Luke, I spoke to you about goal line. He's offside again there, but we've let it run on that occasion.
It's been a real success story this year, hasn't he, Matty Russell? Even when Warrington were doing it tough early in the season, he was one who really caught the eye with some cameo performances.
He's very quick, isn't he? And an electric kind of pace, as we saw there near the line. He's normally renowned for making breaks from his own backfield when they kick to him.
I think he had a good World Cup, didn't he? And I gave him a lot of confidence.
Playing with Scotland, Ayrshire-born. Bridge looking to add another 2 here. He should find this fairly simple, and he does. It's such an uncomplicated style, isn't it? We've seen them all this week. Sneed yesterday with his ring the roses approach, and here Bridge with that little prod between the uprights.
Well, this is the speed of Matty Russell. He just took the prop on. Normally not renowned for their speed, and just ran around him.
Yeah, good. Run it outside as well to keep the defence away from him. Created a one-on-one.
Well, let's hear from Damien Johnson, who's down on the touchline. You've got someone with you down there, Damien.
I have, Dave. Ben Westwood is with me, suspended today. Ben, I just sense that you've got the measure of Bradford. Is that the way you say it?
Yeah, a little bit. We're playing fast at the minute. You know, we've come with a game plan at the minute, and you know, we're doing that game plan. It seems to be working. The scores in our favour, so we're happy.
What's the key? Keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. Just keep going, stick to the plan. Don't try and go away from what we've been doing all week. You know, it's easy to get into the offloading kind of thing and try and pass it about. But if we keep to what we're doing, I'm sure we'll be all right. But come end of game.
Thanks, Ben.
No worries. Thank you.
Mangy Anthony England was planted head first in the ground there, wasn't he? The referee didn't make note of it, but Tim Roby, the touch judge on this near side, has come on. Once the legs go above the horizontal, that's when the referee begins to get interested, isn't it?
Okay, Clint.
Do the legs go above the horizontal here? Yes.
We never called it. Don't touch this.
I don't know, you know, it's not too bad. I think it's a very, you know, it's a dangerous tackle, but just can't afford to do it. I think he'd be all right and play the ball.
Yeah, just come in. Yeah. Obviously the legs. Yeah. No. All right. All right. You need to be careful in that lifting position. Okay, mate.
Just a warning and a penalty for Warrington. Jay Pitts, wasn't it, who was underneath?
Steph, don't run in there.
So Bridge puts the ball out of play, and Warrington steel themselves.
Here we go.
For another attack on this Bradford line.
On the back of another penalty, though.
Here's Hill. Michael Monaghan swings it out to Bridge again. Left to Myler. Russell's joining in from full-back. Trying to use that pace to get on the outside of Purtell, but he's going to hang on, the Australian. This now is Ryan Atkins, who's already got 1 try today. And Warrington are 15 metres away and getting closer. Myler juggles, just about keeps hold. Back it comes to Bridge. Bridge to Joel Monaghan. He will push and shove all he likes in the faces of those Bradford defenders, but they're not going to move. They're going to hold him down. Michael Monaghan from dummy half, a little dive, but they're alive to it. So here comes the last tackle in this set. Back to Bridge again. Grubber kick measured, in its Gale. And all he can do is touch it down and concedes the drop out underneath the stick.
Well, he was slightly unlucky. He tried to capture that and get out of the in-goal, but he knocked it on in essence, and then he grounded the ball. So either way, I reckon it's a goal line dropout.
Little kick.
Right, okay.
Again, it's that axis.
Just dive down to the arm.
Bridge, Myler and Ratchford.
I pick up again on what John Wilkins said. They have 3 options, haven't they?
Yeah.
They can go to Bridge, they can go to Myler, they can go to Ratchford, and they've got Michael Monaghan probing in and around the ruck as well. So they're multi-directional, and when they throw width, particularly out of double half, they're pretty dangerous.
And if they lose any energy at any point, they've got Mickey Hyde to come on as well, haven't they? So they've got options. Here comes Ormsby. Gene Ormsby. He made his debut early this season, Gene Ormsby. You won't think it because he plays with so much confidence. He has the body language of a player who's been around her for a while.
Hold, goal 2.
Monaghan. Here comes Bridge. This is Hill.
3.
Very nearly half an hour played. Warrington in the driving seat at the moment. England battering it forward. Good offload, but then the pass under pressure has just taken a little bit of the momentum out of the move, but Bridge is looking to reapply it again.
Danny Hardy did well there. He had to come in and make that tackle.
Ratchford. Scragged down.
5. Move.
Adam O'Brien grabbing a hold.
Go.
So on the final tackle again. Myler with that grubber kick once more. Gale this time is a little more sure-handed. Very nearly slid behind that line. But look again at where they have to start here, Brad. That's tackle 2.
They'll be sick of their own 10-metre line. Warrington are defending pretty well as well, aren't they?
It's merciless at the moment. The Bulls
Release.
cannot find any respite. Here comes Keir.
4. Move. 10 metres. Goal 4.
Now Purtell.
5.
But that's 5. And they're only 30 metres away.
Charge down.
Charge down. So it'll be another set if Bradford get it back. It is. They get another set of 6. That's a bit of a bonus. Addy. A little bit of space on this left-hand side. It's not an advantage play. It is tackle 1.
First. Move, Gene. Go.
There's Blythe.
Move. Go.
Brian on the field is the man at dummy half. They come crashing in here. Jamal Fakir.
Bit of reception committee for him, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
A Moroccan-born Frenchman is looking to reinvent himself here at the Bradford Bulls. Gaskell. Aldison.
4. Move. Come on, Chris. Wait for it. Wait for it. Goal 4.
Still a couple of tackles to go here. Sidlow slamming it forward.
5. Release.
So they're on the last here. What did Bradford do here? 30 metres out. Can they create something from the boot of Gale? Up it goes. Russell's underneath it. Where's the chase? Russell gathers and down he goes. Decent chase in the end.
Yeah, decent chase. Need a little bit more hang time to give his players an opportunity to compete for it. That's a better set for. They've kept the ball and now they've got to just defend and hold Warrington out.
Here comes Ratchford. Looking for the centre of the field again.
3. Rise.
He's a lovely player, Stephen Ratchford. This is Rhys Evans.
4. Move, Adam.
8 minutes to the break. Warrington looking to pile on the pressure again here as Russell goes darting inside that Bradford half. Bridge.
Okay, lads.
Gaskell has to be careful. Caught it in the field of play. So he's got some work to do to get it back towards that 20-metre mark. It's not a bad return, that, from Lee Gaskell.
Good run.
And he gets a penalty.
Holding the legs.
Holding the legs.
He uses his pace to get on the outside of Curry, I think it is, and he's trying to get up, pulled his legs back, so penalty.
Time on.
So the tap restart. Ben Evans on the pitch, and you can see Harrison got off. Roy Asatasi on and England off, so they've not lost anything in terms of muscularity out there.
1. Release, Roy. Hold. Goal 1.
O'Brien. Aldison to Gale. Swung across to Addy. Addy's got support here from Pitts.
2nd. Release, Chris. Hold. Goal 2.
Adam Sidlow.
3. Move. Square.
Adam O'Brien again.
Goal 3.
Danny Addy.
4. Move.
Little dummy, but Michael Monaghan wasn't taking that one, but it's a quick pick-up from the play, the ball again, and here comes Gale with a chip towards the corner, and Rhys Evans will just watch it out of play. Well, he got a touch on it. Touch judge far side. Clint Sherrod says he got a touch on it.
Well, he's going to go to the video ref, see if he did have a touch.
Can you just check whether there's a touch?
Well, Warrington trying to use body language to get back to the 20-metre mark to put some pressure on to say that there wasn't a touch there.
My call's drop out, but it's a close one. I've called drop out, but it's close, so we'll check it. Use the right here.
Richard Silverwood is our video ref here today, having a look at this.
Yeah, it's just the touch we're checking. Yeah, he's touched it there with his finger. Yep, drop out.
Well, I think he's got to play for that sometimes because, as I said, you know, the corners do curve up, so you've got to watch it all the time because they have a tendency, more than any other ground, to bounce back over your head. And the Bradford boys know this, so you know they will put the kicks into the corners.
Ready?
Well, they're trying to drum up the Bradford support here. Come on, get behind your boys, they're saying. 18 points to 4 down. The Bulls need something before the break here to give them a bit of heart going into that second half. And here's Jamal Fakir, who's done well, driving it in. The offload's a little scruffy, but dropped on by Sidler.
Goal first.
O'Brien. He's having another go.
Release.
Fakir.
And wait. Goal 2.
This is Gale. Patel. Little flick to Keir. It's claiming a touch. It's given us a touch, so it's another 6 tackles starting here.
So Tarsi had a go at...
Hang on, touch judge is on as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a late. I'm not sure if this is late.
Yeah, it's Luke Gale, I think.
I just saw the incident. There's a late tackle on...
OK, mate, no problem. Roy, just come in.
Roy Asatasi being called out.
On Luke Gale.
Yeah. It's a shoulder charge, yeah. We're saying it's not late, but it's with the shoulder. Same as theirs before.
Late, it was. No use of the arms.
It's an untidy game, isn't it, really, at the moment? Really untidy game.
Here's the incident, is it? Slightly late.
I did think, I don't think it was...
Saying it was with his shoulder, but he had his arms up, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Stay back. Go.
Well, Bradford are not going to complain. They'll take anything here.
You just got to keep the ball. That's all they've got to do now is keep the ball, Bradford, and complete the set, have a repeat set.
Goal first.
Here's O'Brien. This is Gale. Back on the inside to Gaskell. Roy Asatasi came flying across there. Didn't quite make the contact he wanted. Play the ball. O'Brien to Gale. Gale. Dummy runner was picked. And he's knocked on. Straight into the Warrington player. It's another mistake.
Everything for the Bradford team is coming through Gale, and if he's not showing up, that they don't pose much threat to this Warrington team. We've already talked about Warrington, about how multi-pronged their attack is. I think that was a clear knock-on from Addy then.
Yeah, I think they were looking at Brian to see if Bridge had touched it.
Say not.
Heads in, boys.
So going back to Bradford kicks, if they're going to be reliant upon kicks, they need to kick with a view to competing from me as well as just hoping for that corner ricochet.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gaskell coming in as well. He looks threatening from behind Lee Gaskell. He needs to give Gale that option out wide.
He's got good speed and can break the line.
Goal 3.
Here's Russell.
They've run a lot from dummy half, haven't they? The first kind of 3 tackles, they've gone from dummy half, got good speed, good yardage, and then it's an easy kick for the halfback.
Square, lads! Get square! Goal
So on the 6th tackle, Warrington having done the job of taking it downfield, now look to finish with a kick from Bridge that will make it as hard as possible for Bradford. It's been a little bit easier by the fact that it's now going to be a tap back on the 20. And Elliot Keir
and just for our viewers at home, Dave, what Jiffy's saying there about the Warrington ruck speed, it's really, really hard to defend, and it opens up defences, but it's really simplistic in its approach. Get to the ground. It's called winning the ground. The ruck area we're looking at now with 2 Warrington players involved there. Bradford can't generate the same kind of ruck speed, so quick play the ball. So getting up quickly now and finding a quick play the ball really helps you forwards and you go forward, people. And what Warrington are doing are just running out of dummy half and finding that ground really quickly, bouncing up and playing the ball quickly, which makes the game a whole lot easier for the halfbacks.
So the longer they stay on the ground here, the easier it is for the defence to get themselves ready for the next run.
Yes.
Here's Ormsby. And there's all kinds of shenanigans goes on, isn't there, in these kind of tackles to try and slow things down. Some of them legal, some of them less so. Here's Asatazi, good ball away from him, and Myler skipping through. Gaskell got him covered. And it was Albison who was there as well, but Warrington ominously moving forward again. Hill's pass is taken well enough by Curry.
And the other thing, we've just seen an example of it there that Warrington do to generate rucks with, is throw great width passes out of dummy half to open up the middle for themselves. We saw that to Asatazi, who found a tip-on play to England, who released Myler.
Here's Bridge. Bridge with a hand in the face of Addy. It was a terrific flick pass from him, but unfortunately, from his point of view, straight into the hands of Luke George.
That's good play by Luke George. You know, he didn't give up on it, whereas the Warrington support did.
Okay, Mike.
Keir. Looking down this left channel. There you see it being slowed down again. Gaskell.
4. Move. Square step. Go.
Adam O'Brien. Young hooker who's come through the system here at Bradford. 20 years of age, getting his chance this season. Gale with a kick away. Jagged bounce away from Rhys Evans, but he's quick enough and sharp enough to make sure it's his with some comfort.
Goal.
Atkins.
2, Adrian. And hold. Goal 2. Okay, Luke, come on.
Evans again, Rhys Evans.
3.
Him and his twin brother here today, Ben Evans, in this Warrington 17. Ratchford with a pass, and Curry slammed into by Luke Gale. It's a question of whether he led with his shoulder on that occasion.
Well, was that more of a shoulder charge than Roy Asatazi, surely?
5, move.
Oof.
Yep.
Go.
He's only half back. You get away with it, you blokes, don't you?
Here's Bridge.
Okay.
Good take by Luke George.
1, release.
An interesting take on the old shoulder charge as well from Brian McDermott recently, saying, well, it was brought in to stop the little fellas being slammed on the blind side by the big fellas.
Go.
And when a little fella runs at a big fella like that, surely it's forgivable.
Move. Square step. Goal 3.
Here's Addy.
4, release.
You've got to finish this set and get a good kick in here. Just a minute to go. You don't want to hand this ball over now. In a threatening position for them.
Well away.
5, move. Go.
Albison is still 9 metres short of the halfway line when he's put down.
Play on touch.
So Purtell put a little kick over the top. There was a Warrington touch there, but
Play on first.
he went backwards and high. Sorry, Monaghan. Michael Monaghan drops on it.
It's clever
And
play.
Warrington have it back. Last set of the game, last set of the half, I would say.
Second, James. Go, get off that ledge.
35 seconds before the hooter sounds. Warrington in control of this match
3,
by a
release.
distance.
And square. Goal 3.
Rhys Evans is looking around for his boot. It's been ripped off and thrown to the touchline. Ben Evans, twin brother, tries to bounce up, gets the offload away. Here comes Ratchford. Ratchford's lost it. There's only one in the tackle. Picked up by Pitts. He can saunter forward here now, but plenty in primrose and blue around him. Not many of his support players. But now Elliot Keir picks it up. He's done well from dummy half.
Yeah, you need a support runners there.
Hold here.
Hooter sounds before the ball can be played. And that will be an end to it in that first half. Elliot Keir with a 1 try for the Bradford Bulls. But wrapped around that, the dominant presence of Warrington, Richie Myler, Ryan Atkins and Matty Russell all scoring. And Warrington in the ascendancy at half-time, leading as they do by 18 points to 4. And Bradford needing a big reaction in the second half to come back. Damien Johnson's with Richie Myler.
Richie, you've taken control in this game. How have you done it?
We knew we had to come out and play fast. 20 minutes we knew it was going to be a really tough battle. We matched that, got a couple of tries and stayed in front, but like I say, Bradford come back and scored against us, which we weren't too proud about, but no, we're same again second half and hopefully we can do the same thing.
Thanks, Richie. Luke Gale is with us as well. Luke, How are you going to get back in this game? It's a fairly sizable margin they've got on you.
It's only 18-4. I mean, we've got to slow their rucks down. They're playing too quick. Monaghan getting out dummy out, they're causing us problems. We just need to slow their ruck down and we'll build on this second half.
Need some field position as well.
We do, yeah. It's quite a strong wind out there. Playing downhill this half and we'll look to get some field position and keep them down there.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
It's a hot old day here at Odsall, and Bradford have found it tough going during that first 40 minutes. Warrington have more possession and more territory, and also you look at the number of metres made, 787 for Warrington, 520 for Bradford. Dave Wood said it in commentary, I think with about 10 minutes to go, Earl, that it's been a bit untidy.
Yeah, very scrappy game so far, so many errors, and you just don't expect this from two quality teams, and you'd expect maybe a little bit more of a higher standard. Not quite there at the moment, but it is improving as the game goes on, but Bradford need to get themselves back into it.
They need to get themselves back into it. Do they need to be a bit quicker around play the ball? They need to cut out the errors as well, don't
Well, I think Luke Gale hit the nail on the head. They're allowing Warrington to play too fast. I can't remember the amount of tackles that Bradford only got 2 players in instead of 3 and try to slow them down. If they're going to give penalties away for slowing the play their ball down and nullify Warrington's threat, which is Monaghan and Hyam out of dummy half.
Take us through how Warrington have dominated that half.
Do you know, it's just the way that they've kept hold of the ball, as you can see here. JP will take us through this, which he picked up early on.
Yeah, it's just a little snapshot of how Warrington played the game. They've got Chris Hill with 2 runners. They've got Ratchford waiting out the back. Offloads the ball to him, and you can see all the Warrington players pushing up here. This is how Warrington want to play. This is why they're back in form. Look, 2 players fighting to play the ball, and everybody's on the front foot here. This is what Luke Gale is talking about, why they need to control the ruck speed. And this is a process of how Warrington play. This is why Warrington are back in form now. They've realised what their assets are. Their assets are people like Chris Hill, Anthony England, and also one of their assets, Michael Monaghan and Stefan Ratchford, running out of dummy half. Now Bradford need to negate that.
So how do they do that? How are they going to negate that?
Bradford lack size, okay? Bradford have lacked size out throughout the year. Earl, you said that they don't make many metres, and they don't. So when you lack size in the tackle, you need to put 3 and 4 in, and they've consistently not done that in this half.
Let's go through the 3 tries, all of them linked to errors. Let's start with Richie Milers.
Yeah, this is an error, first of all. I think Bradford have struggled with some unforced errors coming out of their own half here. This is just one of them, just takes his eye off the ball and drops the ball, and this gives Warrington field position, and Warrington are good players down in their half. Now what we're going to look at here is the process we showed earlier, the snapshot we showed earlier, ties out big men in the middle. Now we've got the man tracking back here. You can see all the Warrington players are lined up on their right hand side. Now this guy here is being pointed by the full back. He needs him at the post though, he needs him there, he needs the numbers to be on Bradford's left hand side. Chev takes the wrong option, goes to the right, and this leaves a big hole here. And that's what fatigue does. Fatigue makes fools out of us all, and he just steps back in.
Just that tightness can just make you go in the wrong direction.
It's the smallest decision on the biggest stage, and that can lead to a try, and that's why playing in the middle is the simplest job to describe, okay? But it's the toughest one to do, because you've got to make those little decisions right all the time. And Chev has been forced up into there. He's a winger centre who's playing in the front row.
Because you're talking 4 or 5 yards, that's all there, aren't you?
Sometimes it's even less, and it's a split second as well. You've got to make those quick decisions, and if you don't, it's that split second where someone picks it up on your inside. Maybe they see that little gap that you've created by just not taking a step, and that's when you concede tries.
They've only made 6 errors of Bradford, and Warrington have made 7, but it's where Bradford have made the errors, and the 2 other Warrington tries came from Bradford errors too.
Yeah, that's it. Bradford are really struggling off the back of the errors that they're conceding. Like, this is schoolboy. Someone's got to take control of that. Off the back of that again, it's just a bit of footwork. Gale, he's ball watching a little bit there. All the good stuff is done. Sometimes it's just taking your eye off the ball there. He looks around, realises he's in the wrong position. Great feat by Atkins to score the try.
This is the benefit, I feel, of how Warrington played. They tie that middle out and you just can't get there and can't defend. But these are soft errors. These are errors that Bradford don't need if they think they can go on and win this game.
Sidlow losing that, this is where this try comes.
We're talking small yards again. We're talking 3 or 4 metres, which leads to the try in the wrong position and gives Matty Russell too much speed. He's got speed to burn as this kid, and he just gets around the outside of Sidlow. But this is part of the process of the way and style that Warrington play. Tie the middle out, so you can't make those extra couple of yards which are the difference at this highest level.
Bradford got their one try through Elliot Keir. They're going to need more in the second half, but took us through Elliot's try.
Yeah, this try just absolutely comes from nowhere, really. It's just a nice one-out carry at the end, and it's an offload, which you wouldn't really expect off the back of a good dummy half carry. But if you see Richie Myler out wide, he's just looking in at the ruck, and at the last second, he realises that there's a person on the outside of him, but it's too late by then. It's a good finish as well by Elliot Keir. We thought he should have gone for the corner, but he puts his head down and gets over eventually. JP obviously doesn't know quite what he's on about.
I was going to say, you two both think he should go for the corner, being the expert finishers in the corner.
Yeah, I was calling him in here saying, what's he doing? Why is he not going for the corner? And then I realised I don't play wing, I play prop.
Francis Cummings just has to get their spirits up, doesn't he? He has to, in many ways, repeat what Gayle said to Damien there, is that one try and they are back in it.
Yeah, I feel Gale's kicking game can get them back into it. He had one goal at 40-20. I feel that's what they need to get some momentum. And if they can play down in the Warrington's half through his kicking game, then they'll give themselves every chance. Look, they're not out of it. They're not out of it by a long way. It's only a couple of scores, and it gets close again, gets tight again. And Warrington may come up with some of the errors which they've come up throughout this season.
You looked at Gale and Myler as a head-to-head, didn't you, Earl, before the game? That's how they fared in this first half.
Yet again, it's pretty hard really to split them up. Apart from this time, it's Luke Gale. He's got a few more kicks, but these are kicks that are trying to get them out of trouble, and sometimes they're not even good. They go over the back line, but the tackles and the bus and breaks, Richie Myler, he's already on two. He's scored a try, but both of them also being guilty of letting a try in as well.
Yeah, I feel halves. They specialise. There's three different areas for halves. You can either kick well, run well, or pass well. And we've seen Richie Myler running and causing breaks. Now, Gale's kicking. These kicks need to stay in field here. They need to stay in field. That's an extra 20 minutes going back to 20 metres going back to Warrington. That's a good kick from Richie Myler. He's not known for his kicking, he's known for his running, and he's done that in this game. He's run well. He's had the better game. It's easy for a half to play off the back of strong forwards. When you're going forward, we've seen the meters, it's easy for a half to play with more space.
You'll get the forwards should get more credit, really, shouldn't they?
Yeah, it's all to do with the forwards.
It's all to do with the forwards, and there's Myler's try once again. Yeah, with great speed of thought and speed of feet.
Richie Myler's known for that. He beats a lot of players with that, with his footwork, with his running. That's his key asset.
Yeah, that's what we were saying before about position and pace. He's not afraid to take the ball in and just use that ability that he's got. And then, again, he's going down to the kicking game, and it's just not quite there for Gale at the moment. You feel like something could change. They are getting involved, having big involvements in the game, but Richie Myler's just on top at the moment.
I'm sure they might have some kind of, there is ice visible there. They might have ice vests on as well. Are there any negatives for Warrington in that first 40?
I suppose in the first 10-15 minutes, I thought they had a few too many errors, but Bradford thought, we'll make more errors than you instead. So they let them off the hook there. I think Warrington are playing to their strengths. They're playing to their strengths at the moment. They know what they're doing. They're in a good vein of form at the moment. I think the key is Gale's kicking game we've highlighted there. If he can kick them back in the game and be more pinpoint with that, they've got a chance.
OK, well, the second half will be on the way very shortly, but time now for another Ray French Challenge Cup memory. This is one of the shocks of all time.
One of my favourite memories of the Challenge Cup final was certainly the day when Sheffield Eagles beat Wigan.
Robinson's underneath it! Oh, he's missed it!
An unbelievable result when you remember that the Sheffield Eagles club had only been founded 14 years before.
Wigan's defence shuffling across. Oh, it's gone for the corner! Crowd has picked it up!
Even when I spoke to John Keir earlier in the season after one of the earlier rounds, and John said to me then, the Sheffield Eagles coach, we'll win the cup, you know, Ray. I thought, John, the sun's gone to your head. You can't win this cup. But he was adamant. And it was Aston who kept the Sheffield Eagles side going, dropping a goal right on half-time, psychologically keeping his side with a huge boost as they went into half-time.
Turner just held up, is he now? The referee's having the word, and he's given the try!
Sheffield Eagles thoroughly deserved it, but I will confess, even to the last 5 minutes, I thought somehow Jason Robinson or something like that will surely scoot in for 2 tries. They never did, and Sheffield Eagles deserved probably the greatest upset in Challenge Cup history.
Sheffield Eagles, the cup winners.
Nice memories from Ray. We've got the second half coming shortly, and then the semi-final draw live here on BBC Two at the conclusion of this game here at Odsal. Not a boiling hot studio for John Wilkin this afternoon. Oh no, he's too showbiz for that now. He's gone in search of some corporate hospitality.
There are worse jobs in the world, chappers, I'll agree with you there. I'm in the stand here with the Warrington wives and partners. Helen Skelton, well, Helen Myler now, married to Richard.
I know, officially I'm Myler, but I keep calling myself Skelton. This is Stevie, Ryan Atkins' partner, Katie, Anthony England's partner, and then Kirsty on the end, who's Steph Ratchford's partner.
So do you get nervous before a game? Like, obviously my wife, when she watches, I'm sure she gets nervous, or I hope she does. What about you?
Yeah, it's horrible. Do you know what you do to us? I hate it. I hate it until they're all off the pitch in one piece. As long as they come off uninjured, anything else is a bonus for me. And until the final whistle's blown, you can't relax.
And as rugby players, we are quite odd. Does Ryan have any pre-match routines?
To be honest, I'm not going to lie, he does, but he keeps himself to himself. I kind of just stay out of the way. He does have a certain playlist, does certain things his own way, but we just stay out of the way for him, really.
Excellent. And Anthony's first season in Super League, having a fantastic game today, isn't he? Sorry, would you like to answer that? I'm very sorry, Nala. It's Ryan Atkins' daughter.
Yeah, he likes to get into his own routine and swing a bit. He just likes to sort of crack on and be on his own and, you know, just get on with it, really.
So you enjoy your rugby, Helen, clearly. You get into it, don't you? I've seen you on the pitches, clapping, carrying on. You know, what's your thoughts for the second half?
I just quite like them to blow the whistle now, to be honest. Anything can happen in rugby. I think we've seen that over the past couple of days. So I'll only relax when that whistle's been blown. I was brought up on football, so rugby's still pretty new to me. I have to make Richard wear green boots so I know where he is. My eyes are that bad, I don't know where he is unless he wears them.
Excellent, and a nice trip to Wembley would be great, wouldn't it?
Please, last year I was pregnant, so we didn't get there last year.
But when
year before I was pregnant, so yeah, we want it this year, definitely, go all the way.
Yeah, well, really nice to talk to you all, and I now empathise with you and understand what you go through a little more, so thanks.
Yeah, I think you should buy your wife a nice big present.
Why have you done that?
Oh, yes, we all agree, actually. Mrs. Wilkins should get a nice big present. Obviously, the World Cup starts this week. We're trying to recreate the conditions of Rio in the studio this afternoon. It is boiling hot. Gary Lineker in Brazil, the beautiful game Tuesday at 10:35 before we get underway on Thursday. We've got the Canadian Grand Prix later on BBC One, live from Montreal. That's at 6:20. And Queens gets underway tomorrow, 1 o'clock on BBC Two. There is Richie Myler in those. They're not green enough, those, are they? They need to be a little bit greener, I think. In his green and white boots this afternoon, and he's led Warrington to an 18-4 lead at half-time. Both sets of players are back out. Don't forget the semi-final draw at the conclusion of this game. Let's rejoin Brian and Jonathan and Dave.
Well, it feels like a long way back here for Bradford, doesn't it, in this game? 18 points to 4 down at half-time, very much second best in that first half. So, Brian Noble, once upon a time, you were responsible for delivering the team talks in the dressing rooms just below us. If it had been you today, what would you have been saying?
Well, we need to give ourselves a chance. Our first 5 sets are really important in this second half, and probably we're going to have to score first. A little bit more clinical in your go forward, a little bit less decision making to make other than find the front, find some ruck speed and kick the ball well. Get yourself into this game.
And I think psychologically, you know, the Bulls always like playing down the slope, so it's important that they get a good start, keep possession, build momentum and play in the right areas.
Is there a slope here?
Is there a slope here? Bamboozled. I was here for 30 odd years. There's no slope here.
There is definitely a slope on this pitch. Bradford are playing downhill.
It's just the way you played, Jiffy, that's all. It just felt like a slope when he started running.
You honestly don't think as you play up and down? No,
that's a Tarty. Good break by him. Evans, Ben Evans gets it onto Ratchford. That looked like a forward pass. It is a bit of a forward pass. Belatedly, Phil Bentham.
I think the scream of 3,000 people helped him there.
Yeah, the Bradford fans certainly called it for him.
Michael Monaghan doesn't believe it, but have a look at this,
great
Michael.
Offloads. That's great offloads.
Great football from Warrington.
That's clearly forward. Good support play, though.
His green boots.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite get away with it because he was seen in his green boots.
Well, they've got to shore up the middle of the defence. They know where Warrington Wolves are coming. If they are coming down, they've got to close it down, close the middle up a little bit and push wide.
Well, they've got to solve that problem first, Jiffy. I agree with you. That they've got to make sure that the early rucks of Warrington are as quick as they are at the moment, because it's causing them too many problems in the back end of the sets.
And they know, because that's what like Luke Gale said coming off half time. They know they have to slow it down.
Go, okay, 2. All right, Steph, you're in.
Here comes Jamal Fakir.
Release.
Boisterous in his approach to rugby league. Jamal Fakir. Luke's a handful, is a handful. Here comes Gale. Dummy shown. Hill was there to make the tackle. Ratchford's in there too.
Go, play on.
So Bradford with still 2 or 3 tackles left in this set.
5. Release.
Just the one now. Donaldson is put down. Addy will put it high. Ormsby's underneath it. Has a look to see what's running. Oh, it's bounced off his chest. Came off Warrington. It's all gone backwards so far. But Bradford have it.
Bradford first in there.
Oh, came off Bradford first apparently. So it will be a handover to the Warrington Wolves. Yeah. Everything went backwards after that.
Okay, mate.
So it's a handover. Right, let's hear from Damien Johnson, then, who's got news from the 2 dressing rooms at half-time. Damien.
Yeah, Francis Cummings says, don't give the ball away cheaply. We've been guilty of this. No double sets. Stop the offloads. We know they're good at that. And let's be more patient in possession. From Tony Smith, the Warrington coach, let's quicken up the play. They'll come at us from the off in the second half. Keep play as we have been doing. And above all, keep it tidy and disciplined.
But Ben Curry's mistake there has just given a bit of a lift to Bradford here.
Yeah, good field position for Bradford.
Here's Gale, Gaskell, Patel trying to get it away.
Why are they throwing the miracle ball? They haven't had any possession. They're not building momentum whatsoever. They're lucky that they've had the knock on there. They just need to complete the set.
Well, the only thing in their favour there, Jiff, is that I think they've got to play when they get in the right positions and chance their arm a little bit to get some, because they're defending well at Warrington. So I'm not too disappointed with them. Clearly Evans there knocks the ball on, so they'll get the ball back here, Bradford. Giving it away needlessly, I agree with you, but they've got to throw something different at this Warrington defence.
This is Danny Addy. Matty Blythe coming back in on the angle. Only had a handful of games this season, Matty Blythe.
Second, hand step.
Sidlow looking to find his feet here. Bradford looking to find that goal line if they can. Gale back to Gaskell, and here comes Addy playing at standoff today, but we've seen him in so many positions in his career so far. Centre for Scotland in the World Cup. Fakir.
Release.
Diving to the ground to get up to get the quick play the ball. Here comes Luke Gale. Gale's got the numbers out there. He's thrown it straight to Gene Ormsby. He had 3 of his own team to pick from. 3 of his own. And he's whizzed it to one of theirs.
There were bags of clues. He was the guy in the blue uniform.
Yeah. I do feel...
both getting a little careless, but
I do feel for Luke Gale, man, because I think he's going to steer the ship all on his own. I don't think there are many of the footballers that everything comes off him. Whereas, as we've mentioned about Warrington Wolves, they have Richie Myler, they have Chris Bridge, and Stephen Ratchford.
Knock down.
Knocked down by a Bradford hand.
No. Warrington ball.
Warrington's head and feed.
Knock down at marker.
Knocked away by Pitts.
I got 1 too many.
Don't forget, by the way, the draw for the semi-final when this game is finished. Witness Castleford, Leeds already there. Warrington will fancy that they'll be joining them unless Bradford can produce something in this second half.
Go.
And you look at that lineup, that semi-final lineup, and it looks really open this year. There's some real quality right across the board.
I was very impressed with Castleford yesterday.
Here comes Bridge. Option on the inside, went on the outside, gone to ground, picked up by Luke George. George is off, galloping down that left-hand side, head back, hair flailing in the wind, and he scores a try that might just lift Bradford now.
It's just whether or not it's touched by the fingertips there.
But
that's all we're checking.
He's not happy, Brian. Brian wants him to go into the post.
We are going for the video replay here.
Running.
So let's hear from Richard Silverwood.
Joel.
Okay, so we need to check, see if there's a knock on by Bradford.
Well,
Joel. Listen, mate.
Can't tell off that shot.
Listen, we've got to deal with the decision. We made a decision as he's running, he's going to get there. Yeah. But don't throw your arms in there, it looks terrible. Okay. Cheers. Thanks.
Okay. Again, you can't tell. Have you got anything else? If not, I'm going to the grounding.
Well done, Tim. Richard.
No, I can't tell off them. So we'll follow it through to the grounding. That's a try.
There's life in this cup tie yet. Luke George has just given it the kiss of life with a gallop to the try line that has put Bradford back within range. But Brian Noble, you're not happy with this. What are you not happy with?
Oh, no, I'm not sure whether he touched it or not. Warrington clearly think it was touched in flight by the Bradford defender, Blythe there. Luke George has got a clear run in here. I think he needs to help his kicker out more. This game might decide on 2 points difference, and I think he can get close to the sticks for the kick. I was just saying, I'm thinking come in field, even though you're being chased down by Ormsey, make the kick as easy as you possibly can. He's plenty of space to come nearer the post there, I feel.
That's a little bit of luck, that Bradford needed to get back into this game.
Well, absolutely vital they scored next, wasn't it? And if they can add another 2 here, which they will. So Luke George, all is forgiven, because from that range, Luke Gale couldn't nail it. So that's how you see he had more confidence in Luke Gale than you did, Brian Noble. He knew he was going to kick it
from
there.
It's the principle of the thing. I've got a goal kicking next to me.
I agree with Brian. You've got to get close to the post. Especially, they're 3 from 3, Warrington are from kicking, and they've missed one already. That could be the difference.
Well, Ormsby wasn't far away. Give the lad a break. Anyway, back on. Bradford 10, Warrington 18. Still a 2-score game. Warrington still in the driving seat, but Warrington might just have 1 or 2 self-doubts here.
I tell you, he's made a difference since coming on. Fakir has made a difference because he's just done the basics and just taken it up.
Donaldson spins it back to Addy. Out left they go again. Gaskell, the Bradford fans in good voice now. 8 minutes of the second half play. Do not write this one off just yet. A couple of tackles to go in this set. Bradford claimed they were being impeded there. Sidlow. Referee says play on. O'Brien's going to have a go. Dragged down by Michael Monaghan. They go down the blind side. Gaskell on the 6th tackle. Kicks towards the corner. Just has a bit of a guessing game in the mind of Matty Russell, who was lucky in the end that he bounced out of play. I think at that stage that was the best thing that could have happened for him.
Yeah.
Caught it, he would have been clobbered.
Yeah. Again.
George wasn't far away.
Very good kick. She's down that slope.
Warrington's head and feet. There's a new energy in this game, though. There's a new energy in this game.
So if Luke George goes flat out there with a view to getting the ball, does he score? I'm not on Luke George's case here. I'm just thinking about Bradford opportunities and taking opportunities and
you got to chase lost causes.
Chasing and being competitive on the kicks.
You have to chase lost causes.
You've already put him down for not sidestepping past 2 defenders when he'd over the goal line to get under the sticks, and now he's supposed to be Superman.
Small margins,
It's getting a bit claustrophobic in this box, isn't it?
Asatazi put down 10 metres short of the halfway line. Here comes Hill. Ball in both hands at first and the footwork as well. He used to be a standoff, didn't he, as a kid, Chris Hill? He's got a penalty here. And this bubble of expectation that was beginning to grow.
I thought he lost that. I don't think that is a penalty.
Tap restart for Warrington here. High will take this tap. Here we have a quick look at that. Oh, he did lose it, didn't he? Anyway, here we go. Bridges running on that right-hand side with the arcing run. It's gone to ground. 2 knock-ons. Head and feed Warrington. They don't like that, the locals. Have a look. Have a look.
No point watching it now, is there?
Matty Blythe ripping it out, the referee says, and that was a knock-on.
They've had 2 unlucky calls, I have to say.
Well, it's 1-on-1, but I thought he pulled it forward.
Yeah, pulled it forward, didn't he? I think the ref got that right. Warrington's head and feed, and looking to just diminish the enthusiasm that's growing amongst these Bradford players. There's a lot of noise around here, but they could silence things a little with another try here, Warrington. Bradford sense a potential comeback. Here comes Atkins.
He runs hard, doesn't he, Atkins?
Hyams on from dummy half. This is Myler, short to Asatazi, who gets the ball away! And Myler's very close.
Great defence. Great defence for Bradford.
Luke George is calling for players over there to support him, because look how much space there was. And Ormsby touches down unopposed. Well, Luke George was screaming for support because there was only him over there.
But again, as we've all mentioned, it's the speed of the play of the ball. Just watch. This is a tackle, bang. He knows he's not going there. There's 3 men on the floor.
Look at George, look at Luke George.
Yeah,
Get over, help me.
Look how quick he plays the ball. 2 men on the floor. That's an easy run in. Ormsby, very, very easy.
Well, all smiles back again for Warrington. 22-10. If Ormsby had managed to get underneath the sticks, this would have been a lot easier kick for Bridge, but he's out on that touchline with an important kick here because he puts this over. It's a 3-score game. But he has got 3 from 3. Bridge just settling himself down 4 years at Bradford Bulls before moving in 2005 to his current employer, the Warrington Wolves. Again, that uncomplicated, efficient style that is proving very effective today. 4 out of 4. And just taking it, again, crucially away from the Bulls again.
Well, it was the Asatazi and Myler run beforehand that created the space for Bradford there. Quick play the ball from Myler with 5 defenders around him. And Luke George was screaming and screaming for help, but he wasn't going to get in here, and it was a simple finish in the end.
Bradford 10, Warrington 24. 3 tries Bradford need to score in reality and not concede another if they're going to overtake this Warrington lead. Asatazi.
First move. Go.
Ratchford pushing at O'Brien.
2 move. Square.
Mickey Hyams out there, galloping off from dummy half again.
Yeah, you all know what they're doing.
3 release. Back at him.
And I need to make something perfectly clear for all our viewers, is that myself and Jonathan are talking about how they need to stop the ruck speed and how they need to do this. It's hard.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Myler looking left. This is Simon Griggs. I don't think we saw him in the first half, did we, Simon Griggs? But on in this second period. 6th tackle coming up. Myler gets a kick away. George is underneath this, puts an arm in the air to say, I want this, and he has. Well, I thought he'd taken it, but he hadn't. He went backwards. He was a little lucky there.
Yeah, I know they got there.
Blythe was there in support. Here comes George. Ooh.
Substitution for the Bradford Bulls.
He's lost it. He's lost it. Gaskell. Mistakes creeping back in again.
Substitution for the Bradford Bulls.
Head and feet for Warrington. That enthusiasm that was building amongst the Bradford fans is just beginning to ebb away a little now.
You cut the mistakes out. It should have been a lot closer, this game. A lot of them are unforced errors as well.
24 to get in, Chris. Yes. Yeah, 20. 20. Okay, heads in. Out.
Here's Myler. Atkins. Nicely away to Hyam, and here comes Hill again.
Move.
Tearing away.
Hold, go.
In the middle of that Bradford defence, Asotasi dragging it back down the middle, and with him 3-4 defenders.
2. Release him.
4 tackles to go, and they're only inches away.
Crouching J. 2.
Mickey Hyam spins it out to Bridge. Bridge away to Joel Monaghan. Tried to get that long arm free, but couldn't get to where he wanted to. Here comes Bridge. Ben Evans climbed all over by determined defenders. Here comes Hyam, arcing towards that line again, just held up and pushed back. They're hanging on here, Bradford. Hyam's over the line, but he's got to get up and play it back to where he was. Bridge. Plenty of chasers. Good pick up. Good pick up. But then was it stolen before it was grounded? And are Warrington going to be given the try here?
Atkins onside.
Yeah.
Then is the tackle complete before the ball's stolen.
Let's hear from Richard Silverwood again, our video referee.
So first it's come from a kick. Please on the kick. Atkins looks to be in front there. Let's take that one back. Got to have both feet behind the ball. Okay, Freeze on the kick. Freeze. Okay, looks. Just go back to the first angle, please. I'm thinking he's offside. It's his left foot. It's in front of the ball. It's in front of the ball for me, so it's... No, I've made my decision. It's going to be no try, penalty to Bradford.
So no try. Even before we got to the shenanigans of who did what after the goal line. No try for offside. It was tight, wasn't it? It was very tight here.
Done it.
So difficult to tell from the angles, isn't it?
I want to speak to him as well.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we don't go to the screen for forward passes, because the different angles tell different stories.
Back up. Hold, lads.
So Bradford are still in it, still just about alive and kicking in this game, but trailing 24 points to 10. I think had Warrington scored then, that would have been it.
Second, release. Go. Okay.
O'Brien. Gale.
3.
Pitts.
Move, Steph. And square. Goal 3, good. 4. Move, Ben. Goal 4.
Here's O'Brien.
5, release.
Had he put down 30 metres out, but that was a 5th tackle. Here comes the 6th. Back to Gale again now. Gale with a chip. Higher than a chip. It's a towering kick, but Evans came forward and claimed it.
First.
Very, very purposefully and very, very confidently.
Hold. Goal 1.
Well done, Rhys Evans.
Second, release. Back up, mate.
Here's Mickey Hyam.
Wait for him, bud.
Waiting at dummy half.
Goal. Come on, Manasseh. 3.
Step away.
Move.
By Bridge.
Go.
This now is Ormsby.
4.
Testing out the middle resolve.
Go.
The Bradford defensive line. England. He'll test them all day long.
5.
That's a pretty good set from Bradford. I was just about to compliment for the whole game. That's the most territory that they've restricted, so they've aimed up, and unfortunately there's an injury here to Anthony England.
Yeah, it's a very good set by Bradford. You know, they didn't get out of there 40 metres, losing the ball on attack. I think he falls awkwardly on his left elbow.
Well, when this gets sorted out, Bradford will have a very good position. That's where it happened. Just a bit of a crumpled arm beneath the heavy weight of not just his own, but a couple of defenders' bodies as well there, wasn't it?
What are you on about, you?
23 minutes left to play in this game. Warrington deserving their lead, 24 points to 10, but there's still just a glimmer here for Bradford. Just a glimmer, Jonathan Davis?
Yeah, I think so. You know, good field position. 20 minutes, there's plenty of time left. Plenty of time.
Okay, boys. Heads in. Out.
So they have a set to go here, to have a go at this line. Here's Matty Blythe, quickly gets up and plays it, and O'Brien running away and testing them out again. 15 out. Blythe gets involved once more. Danny Addy lays it off to Manakafor. Big effort from him. O'Brien again, spinning it on to Gale. Gale steps left and right, and Addy, and then it's Patel. And it needed some good defending to keep him out. Some determined defending to keep him out. Back to Gale again. Manakafor coming on back at the angle, but they're not over-testing Warrington just at the moment. So here comes the final tackle. Gale will have it. Oh, it bounces and back in the hands of Gale. Not played at, so it's still the sixth tackle, but he'll go down with the ball in his hands, and Warrington get possession back again here.
And again, they need more options than Gale. I think he's the only one trying to pull the strings for them. And they're managing him, you know, quite well, Warrington.
We've got a bit of work to do here.
Yeah, I think it's the next set's important for Bradford in relation to how they're attacking. If they can come up with a similar defensive set to the one previously, which they look like now, they'll get some more decent field position.
Well, they're clobbering them deep inside their own half, 10 metres gain in a couple of tackles, that's all. Warrington finding it hard to make the ground here. Grix spinning to his feet. Here comes Rhys Evans, the winger. He'll have a go.
Square at him. Go.
2 tackles in the set. Bridge with a kick away.
It's a good set with Bradford again, but that's a very good
Great kick from Bridge. Just when you think you're in a position to apply a little bit of pressure, they couldn't go for kick pressure on Bridge. He went a set early in relation to the set. He went on play 4, which took Bradford a little bit by surprise. And now Bradford have to ruck the ball out of their own half. And
there's Blythe, who's put down. An hour very nearly played here. Addy rolling it forward, using a little bit of his bulk to hit that line.
Hold, boys, hold.
O'Brien.
Straight up, Ben.
Chev Walker with a pass away. They had his match. Bradford wrestling themselves just about inside the Warrington half. Needs a big kick here. The rain's coming now. Here comes Gale. Puts it up towards those clouds that are hanging over Odsal. It's taken well enough, though, by Rhys Evans. Who's wrapped up instantly, but it's all that Warrington have to do here now is just keep it conservative and see the game out with 20 minutes left to play. Russell dashing out. He's recently celebrated his 21st birthday as well, Matty Russell. Last Friday, I think it was. Here comes Hyam.
It's a penalty.
There was a tackle on Myler as the ball was coming his way.
Yeah, early tackle. It's a very good play. Mickey Hyam, he's away again. Acting half-back, early tackle.
Well, Matty Russell got the quick play of the ball. Mickey Hyam ran out of dummy half, so that ruck speed again we've been speaking about the whole game. Richie Marler's in support, and Bradford player has no alternative to drag him back in the backfield.
Very quickly they looked at the bench and just rolled the arms to suggest that they wanted to carry on playing, and I think the signal from the bench was in the affirmative. So here they go, and a set 15 metres out, and a chance to put this game to bed once and for all here for Warrington. score on this set. You cannot see a way back for Bradford. Surely. This is Hyam. Myler to Harrison, and Harrison trying to bundle through those couple of defenders. One of them, Adam Henry, who's on from the bench. Now the rain is falling. Here comes Myler! And he's caught them with a sucker punch.
Well, they're calling a block here again, calling obstruction.
Was the man who played the ball obstructing here? It's a question for our video referee, Richard Silverwood again.
Is there any interference by the player playing the ball? Okay, so he plays the ball.
He doesn't do anything.
Doesn't
He
do
doesn't do
anything.
anything.
No, that's a try.
Richard Silverwood has given his adjudication, and it is a try that's given. And the Warrington supporters love the moment. Green boots or no green boots, he's had an eye-catching game.
He's played well, hasn't he? He's added to this Warrington team, and it's just, again, they're just a little bit too quick, but we've seen all weekend. There's a coaching lesson on where the thread is where the ball is, and Gaskell's there and Adam Henry's there, and you've got to defend where the ball is, and that's where Myler was. We saw one yesterday, the Casper Wigan, and the highlights of the Leeds game. We saw somebody just sneaking over from dummy half, and they're coach killers, those ones.
So Bridges kicked far more difficult ones than this afternoon. And he's kept his 100% record, 5 out of 5, 30 points to 10. Warrington now lead.
Yeah, poor market play. Myler spots it, try, easy try.
Oh, I think that's extinguished the flame. I mean, the game might still be good, but I think any hope that they had might have just been squished.
I think so.
Well, the draw for the semi-final coming up right after this game, of course. Widnes, Castleford, Leeds already there, and it would seem Warrington will be joining them unless Bradford can produce something of a miracle.
It's a great take that was.
There's 17 minutes that remain. There's enough time. There's enough time for them to get back into this game.
Definitely. I'm not death riding him on the back of, but from what I've seen, you know, the speed of Hyam now from the ruck and the speed of the Warrington team, and I think that this is about Bradford staying tough mentally.
Oh, here comes Griggs, galloping through from the Myler pass. Good effort in defence from Pitts to make sure he couldn't get the pass back on the inside, but Warrington have got momentum here. They're looking to open up. Myler again. Ratchford rushed at.
That's good play, that is. Good defence. Right. Look how quick he plays the ball.
But look where the defender came from, and look at the result. Joel Monaghan diving over in that right-hand corner, and 2 quick-fire tries. Warrington running away with it.
That's all about the pace to play the ball. We've gone on about it. Bradford haven't stopped it. So quick. This is the first break. Griggs goes through. Just watch him. He hits it. First thing on his mind. Look, let's get up. And it's the same. Quick play the ball. Great run from open to blind from Bridge, and just puts the pass in. He's come from the open side to the blind side. He's created the overlap. That's a very good finish, but created by Chris Bridge.
And you have to give Warrington credit for the way that they do transfer the ball from one side of the field to the other when they make a half break and get a quick play of the ball. Bridge came from one side of the ruck to the other, as you said there, and the quality of their catch and pass as well was exemplary.
Look at that scoring rate as well. 105 tries in 103 games for Joel Monaghan. It is a sensational return, isn't it? I mean, a lot of that goes down to his teammates on the inside, but a lot of it goes down to how good a finisher he is as well. And Bridge with another kick from the touchline here.
Being tested today.
Warrington fans massed in number behind those sticks to which Bridge is aiming this. Right now he's punched it off the boot. Oh, and it hit the post and bounced in. So by hook or by crook, he has kept that 100% record. 36 points to 10 now.
He is kicking exceptional. Just watch, quick play the ball. Open the blind. Angled run. Great try.
I've given up on Winger's kick, putting the ball down in the corner as well for you, Woodsy. I just think I'd put him down where you want when he's kicking like that.
I tell you what, this slope's not done Bradford any favours at all in the second half.
Where did you get the slope from?
I'm telling you.
They've gone short, they've gone too short. It's going to bounce in Warrington. Well, it did bounce 10 yards. Oh, and then they're giving it away. Giving it away. So Bradford do get it back. The short kick does come off in the end.
Hold. Wait for it. Go.
Here's Diskin. Manio Kafour.
2. Release, Ben. Go.
Diskin.
Hand straight out, Ben.
Addy. Bradford looking to inject a little bit of enthusiasm into the final stages of this game, give them a bit of momentum maybe working up to their next Super League game next week, because the fight goes on for their survival. Here's Gaskell. The kick and the chase, he was bumped down by Bridge. Russell takes it. Referee says it was all fair, nothing wrong with that. Gaskell's claiming the obstruction. Referee says get up and play on.
Yeah, lovely little chip, but early in the tackle count.
And hold.
Well, Bridge, he's right. Bridge doesn't have to get out of the way there.
That's good play by Russell, isn't it?
3.
Great play.
Move. Go.
Hyam spinning it back to the middle again here. Atkins. Bradford play Salford next week, don't they? If they do get their 6 points back, that's still up in the air. 6 points deducted because of the financial problems they've had. But if they do get their 6 points back, then that would be a massive game against Salford next week. There you can see the territory that Warrington have had and the possession they've had in this second half as well. Continue to dominate. Myler with a kick. Not the best. Easy catch for Luke George.
First. Move. Hold. Go.
Here's Blythe. Having a look on the inside.
Second. Okay, Mick.
4 tackles to go. Gale. Gaskell joining in the line. Patel is chopped down just below the kneecaps by Richie Myler. This is Elliot Keir.
Substitution for the
Move, Ben.
Number 33, Jay Pitts.
Diskin.
Replaced by number 15, Adam Sidler.
Chev Walker. Gale again. Gaskell back on the inside. Patel was there, waiting for it. Almost puncturing a hole in the Warrington defence, but 15 metres out, he's thwarted. And the final play of the set comes off the boot of Gale. Keir's trying to get there, but Evans, his fellow Welshman, is there to make the catch.
It was adjudicated that the Bradford chase was offside there. So 3 metres for Warrington here.
Bridge will take his time. And the tap restart 25 metres out. John Wilkin is watching this down on the touchline. What are you making of this second half, John?
Yeah, I think Bradford have got 2 problems. One is they can't control Warrington ruck speed, which Brian and Jiffy have alluded to. The second thing is they can't challenge Warrington with their attack. Now, some sides, you know, struggle to control ruck speed, but challenge teams with their attack. Now, Bradford have really struggled to do both in the second half, and that's the crux of the problem.
Russell was taken high.
Yeah, you know, it's very difficult. John's right, you know, Luke Gale is just doing it all on his own. Unfortunately, Danny Addy is a back rower, but you know, they've got problems. They haven't got a very strong squad, and they've got to adapt. But unfortunately, you know, it is a very blunt attack.
Well, they're missing Brett Carney today, aren't they? He might made a difference.
He would have made a huge difference, I think.
But they are what they are, a team in trouble at the moment. This is Ratchford weaving away through and finding support, and Joel Monaghan scores try number 106 in his 103rd game.
And that is the difference between the two sides. You know, a penalty on their own line, then they get another tackle, so there's 2 penalties, and then you just a bit of brilliance from Ratchford. And look at the support run of Monaghan. He's there, look, he's following him on the right hand side. They just switch off. There's the difference. There's the attack. They haven't got anyone who can do this.
Good player, Ratchford, isn't he?
Forward though. Yeah, forward though.
Well, things are going against you. Things like that go against you as well, don't they? A smart gentleman with his yellow top hat and his mate with a blue bowler hat.
Well, Francis has to get Humpty Dumpty back together again real quick with the dilemma that they have in Super League, you know, for next Sunday's game at Salford. It's really important.
But you do think, you know, you have to work with what you've got, and if you haven't got, you know, someone outside Luke, you've just got to take it up, get in the field position, and then you've got to utilise the kicking game. Whether it's a short grubber kick, whether it's a high kick, you've got to play to your strengths.
Well, Tony Smith is a man in charge of a club that's been on the up for the last few years, and he has been an architect of that as the coach. That was a forward pass. But Francis Cummings, I mean, you have to feel for Francis Cummings, don't you? Because in the time he's been here as an assistant and then as the head coach, this club has been through crisis after crisis after crisis, and he's been an absolute rock in all of that. You'd rather suspect this club would be an awful lot worse off if Francis Cummings wasn't there. So another poor kick-off. It'll be a penalty for Warrington on the halfway line.
I agree with you, David. But what I will say is that, and what he also reflects on, at the end of the day, throwing 50 pence to ring somebody that cares. Was a coach once told me that when I was in my down doldrums and saying we need this and we need that. You can only go with what you've got. Open the kind of players that you've got and give them, and I agree with Jonathan about giving them a system whereby they can compete every week, and that's the challenge of the players and Francis. Absolutely, there's sympathy, empathy, all of those words, but the W word and a win and a bit of confidence for this team will go a whole long way in their battle for Super League, which is the main one.
Well, they've had wins this season. They've had 4 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a good team in there, and Francis has brought that good team out of him. So again, it's not criticism of the coaches, but you can't anchor after what you haven't got or haven't had.
Mark Green, the chairman, looking on as well. He knows the difficulty, and here it gets a little harder. Reach over the line by Ben Curry this time. And it is a game that's running away at a rapid rate from the Bradford Wolves here. Warrington are sauntering into that semi-final. To remind you, the draw coming up after we've finished here. And Warrington, with absolute certainty, will be joining Widnes, Castleford and Leeds.
All comes from this again, you know. This is just too easy. I think Bridge has been exceptionally well.
He's playing well at the moment. You know, his last 5, 6, 7 weeks, you look at that. His running game and his passing game, and it's just too big, too strong, wasn't it?
It's like the axis there, you know, of Ratchford, Myler and Bridge. You know, they've really controlled the whole game. They've kicked well, they've attacked well, and I do feel a little bit for, you know, as I said, Luke, because he seems to be doing it on his own.
So 14 points for the day for Chris Bridge with his 7 goals. Looking to make it number 8 here. Keeping that perfect record if he can. Doesn't matter too much in terms of the outcome of the game, but it will matter to him that he's just put that wide.
That's the easiest kick, and he has just pushed it a little bit.
But 46 points to 10, Warrington lead. And they've been worthy of that win as well, haven't they?
And what I will say for Bradford, David, and for people watching that are neutrals, it's hard to keep going to the well when you're in an emotional struggle every week. They had the big must-win game last week, so has today been even though it's a Challenge Cup and it's a quarter-final and it's a distraction away from the Super League troubles, have they gone to the emotional well one too many times? So they might need to save some of that emotion for next week and the upcoming battle.
Yeah, but what they've got to do as well is that, you know, the first half, it would have been totally draining for them with, you know, the enforced errors and the discipline, putting themselves under the cosh, really, you know, toughing it out defensively. And the last 10 minutes of the second half, you know, the last 10 minutes has been really, really tough for them.
Warrington are looking for more. They're not going to take the foot off the Bradford throats here, are they?
Wait, Matt. Wait.
Here's Hyam.
Come on, Chef. Another meter, eh?
Azatazi gets it away for Ratchford, who's wrestled down by Tom Albison. And Matty Russell will take off here from dummy half if he can, but his way is blocked sharply. Hyam again now, scrambling towards that halfway line. They're making good yards here, Warrington.
Oh, he's enjoyed the second half, hasn't he, Mickey Hyam?
Asatazi again. By his own admission, didn't have the best of starts to his Warrington career. Had to get used to life here after the NRL, but he is getting a bit better now. Bridge with a kick, 1 and then 2, and Keir will just fall in the field of play. Oh, he was dragged away after the tackle was complete, so a penalty here for Bradford.
Well, I've got to pick man of the match. I think there's been a couple of big performances today. I think Richie Myler's done well, Stephen Rashford's done well, but for me, the one who's been kind of controlling the whole game offensively is this man, Chris Bridge, or my Tetley's Challenge Cup man of the match, Chris Bridge.
Tony Smith saying this week if there's a halfback who's playing better than Chris Bridge in Super League at the moment, he has yet to see him. Really on top of his form.
2, move Chris. Get square, lads.
Into the final 4 minutes.
Goal 2, back
the cup draw awaits. Bradford with Gaskell.
3, move. Hold.
The Red Button Forum as well coming up after we've finished on air here. Get in touch with us on all the usual ways, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And
Give the ball back. Legs lifted. The legs lifted there on 4.
it already called held. So they'll go back to where it's going to be played.
Number 19, Adam O'Brien, replaces number 13, Chef Walker.
Here comes Sidler.
5, move. Wait for it. Diving forward.
This is O'Brien.
Okay.
Gaskell with a chip. Patel is the man in hot pursuit. Ratchford got hands to it, but he's not able to keep a hold of it. Keir now.
Yeah, another set.
0, move.
Today's man of the match.
Wait. Go.
Gaskell's in a dummy half. This is Sidlow. O'Brien. It's Gale. Oh, and Addy's put it down. A disheartening moment on a disheartening afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. Shake of the head and a grimace from Danny Addy.
Yeah, Mickey Hyam's gone down as well. Oh, Michael Monaghan, I think it is. He's in back play. He's gone down, just dropped.
Just hobbling towards the sidelines here, Michael Monaghan. Shake of the head from Michael Monaghan.
Yeah, he just fell over in back play. I don't know what it was.
Okay, we play 1 short, Warrington. Play 1 short. 5 in the scrum. 5 in the scrum.
So they're playing 1 short here, so they're going to have just a 5 in the scrum.
Yeah,
you've got to
5
have
in
the
the scrum,
7 backs,
5.
haven't you?
Ready? Heads in. Out.
Here comes Ormsby. Can Warrington produce something spectacular here in the dying embers of a game in which they performed admirably well? This is Hill charging through the middle. Orbison amongst those to make the tackle. Hyam's away this time. Now it's Bridge. Lovely flick. And back it comes to Hyam. Hyam's looking right and left. But they're squeezing in defence. George across there to make the tackle. Russell. George working hard, but Russell's shaking him off. But not the rest of the cavalry that came charging.
Step back, Bradford.
Hyam. Bridge. Oh, it's a poor pass. It's a rare poor moment for Chris Bridge today. And Rhys Evans can't gather it in. And it will be Bradford Bulls to get the head.
Same old story, you know. Market play, 1 switched on, up the middle once again. Great support play. Look, there's 3 of them there. 2. Now the hooker, winger.
Well, it's not been a classic cup tie today, has it? We saw a great game yesterday with Castleford winning at Wigan, and a terrific effort by the part-time championship side of Lee, pushing Leeds ever so close on Friday night. Widnes cruising through as expected against Keighley, and perhaps disappointing from Bradford's point of view today, but Warrington ever so good in winning this match. Into the final 20 seconds. There's Diskin. Semi-finals in August to look forward to now for Warrington and Leeds and Cass and Widnes. Who they will play, we will find out in a few moments' time. But they've done their jobs thus far in this grand old cup competition. And the hooter sounds to bring the cone down. Tony Smith, familiar feeling, back in the semi-finals again with his club. 46 points to 10 winners on a day of dismal disappointment for the home team. But they don't care, they're enjoying it.
Right, just to remind you, when it's due to return to the Providence Stadium on Friday,
Warrington the winners by 46 points to 10. And let's hear from Richie Myler.
Richie, congratulations, safely through. Pretty comfortable victory in the end.
Yeah, I think the scoreline blew out towards the end, but I mean, no, we knew it was up against a tough Bradford side. We got turned over not too long ago here, so we knew we had to be on our money, and I thought today we was.
Chris Bridge picked you for man of the match, fair?
Yeah, he's been outstanding week in, week out, Bridge. He's getting that consistency, and yeah, it's well deserved, so hats off to him.
In a way, was this the kind of slick performance that perhaps you missed against Bradford in the league a few weeks ago?
Yeah, like I said, we looked back at that Bradford game a few times and we weren't happy with a few things, and we seem to have fixed those over the last couple of weeks, and we've built on that, and I think today we put a great performance in.
Well done, Richie, thanks very much. Tony Smith, the Warrington Wolves coach, is with me. Tony, congratulations. What was the key to victory today?
We had to speed up the game the second half. It was one of the slowest games we've been involved with for a while. It was just a lot of stoppages and a lot of our attack wasn't fluent there either. We were causing some problems at times, but coming up with errors, and we just needed to sharpen up a bit on our attack and take the control of the speed of the game, and I thought we did that very well in the second half.
Bradford rallied in the second half. You expected that, but you snuffed out any danger.
Yeah, a couple of things went against us there. The video ref call, apparently he couldn't see it, which was a new one for me. Yeah, things went okay for us in the second half. I just thought there was a whole lot more control about us. Of course, Bradford were going to fight back, and they've got some spirit in this club, and Frenny's doing a great job with them, and you know, they weren't going to roll over easy for us, and they showed that today.
So familiar territory into the semi-finals. What are your thoughts now?
Oh yeah, it's a long way off, so you know, we'll just get about the rest of the season and turn our attention back to the cup when it comes time. There's a lot of time between it. You can have injuries, and we've picked up a couple, so I'm just a bit disappointed we've lost Michael Monaghan there at the back end of the game, so it sort of puts a dampener on things, and but hopefully we'll have those sort of players back by the time we get into the next round.
Well done, Tony, thanks very much. Chris Bridge, the Tetley's Challenge Cup man of the match, is with me. Congratulations, Chris. Through again to the semis.
Yeah, it's good to get through. We come here a month ago and we got turned over, so we're just glad we got the win.
You seem to be enjoying a new lease of life at standoff.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, getting my hands on the ball and a bit of space, and all the lads are in a bit of form, and it's good running off the back of Chris Hill and players like that, so it's making it a lot easier for me.
Got a great pivot there with Ratchford and with Myler. How does it work between the three of you?
Yeah, we just mix it all about, and it's not too bad having 3 pivots in the middle, so we can share it about, share the workload.
Bit of a contest for man of the match today. Richie Myler might have got it. Monaghan with his couple of tries.
Yeah, there was a lot of good performances out there today. I thought it was a bit scratchy, some of our ball we put down, but it's just about getting the win, and we're glad we're in the next round.
Fantastic run you've had in the Challenge Cup over the years. I mean, what's the secret?
I don't know, it's just one-off games, it's building up for, and when you get a taste of success and going out on Wembley, I think you get hungrier to get there every year, and we want to hopefully get there again this year.
Safely in the hat, some big teams in there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's a one-off game, so whoever we get, we get.
Well done, Chris.
Thanks a lot.
And we will do the semi-final draw for the Tetley's Challenge Cup very, very shortly. Warrington Earl in the semi-finals for the 5th time in 6 years, which is a remarkable record in itself.
Yeah, it's a great record to have, and it must give you confidence going into every Challenge Cup game, knowing that these are the games that you enjoy the most and win the most times as well. I mean, it's fantastic what they're doing, and again, far superior today.
Is Tony Smith right to play it down a little bit, saying they weren't quick enough in the first half?
That's how Tony is. He's always after 100% out of anything he does, and I think he's giving Bradford a bit of credit there as well. I thought they played quite well in the first half and laid a good platform for the second half. Second half, they were very good. I thought Bradford were poor in the second half, to be honest. They didn't kick well, and they didn't defend too well. They spoke about slowing the rucks down and couldn't do that.
We'll analyse the game a lot more on the red button. Inspire is following us here on BBC Two after we do the semi-final draw. But you said something towards the end of commentary, Brian, which intrigued me about you can only go to the well so many times. And actually the mental tiredness after a while means...
I think so, and I think that reflected a little bit in the second half, certainly. Massive game last week in relation to Super League. They've got the ceiling over them of are they going to get some points? Are they going to two huge games, Salford and Hull KR coming up, which they'll want to compete in. Week in, week out, these blokes here sat next to me will tell you it's hard to go to that emotional, mental pot every time. So I wasn't surprised.
We're not robots, are we? We
No.
can't just knock performances out and getting emotionally involved in every single game you're playing. The game's too hard to do that.
But I sense the Bradford fans understand that as well. I mean, I was looking at the ones down below us here on the terracing. You know, people, and I know rugby league fans in general, you know, don't throw out criticism here, there, and everywhere. But they stayed. I know you're laughing at me, Brian. But if you compare them to football, but they stayed. They didn't leave, and they applauded.
I think there's some knowledgeable Bulls fans here today. I think the hardcore of the fans is here today, and I think they're knowledgeable and understand that they're probably a little bit out of depth with the squad that they've got.
Okay, we're going to do the Tetley's Challenge Cup draw. We have the bag here with the 4 teams in it. Jamie hasn't been allowed to touch this bag yet in the interest of fairness. So I will hand you the bag and I will explain the teams to you and their numbers. Number 1 is Castleford Tigers. Number 2 is Leeds. Number 3 is Warrington. And number 4 is Widnes. The ties are going to be played on the weekend of August the 9th and the 10th. Earl will draw the first team and Brian will draw the second team. Away you go.
It's number 4.
Number 4, Widnes Vikings. And they will play, Brian?
Number 1.
Widnes will play Castleford Tigers. Widnes against Castleford. Jamie's already realised what's coming. So we know which are the 2 teams, just which way around it will be.
Number 2.
Obviously, number 2, Leeds Rhinos, and they will play just to prove that all 4 balls were in the bag.
Number 3.
Number 3, Warrington Wolves. A repeat of 2010 and 2012. There are the Warrington boys. They can see themselves on their monitor. So we will confirm it one more time. It is Widnes against Castleford and Warrington against Leeds. Go on then, your thoughts, Jamie?
Yeah, you're going to have to beat the best to win the cup. I think Warrington have got the wood over us in this competition at the moment. We hold it over them in the Super League, and we're confident going into it, and as Warrington will be able to can't wait. 80 minutes away from Wembley.
And it's a good tie for Widnes and Castleford, actually, isn't it?
Everybody, that's a fantastic tie. It's a brilliant, amazing tie. You know, Widnes have gone under everybody's radar and have been very successful this year. And Castleford, the talked about team of Super League.
I think at the beginning of the year, if you said Widnes or Castleford will be at Wembley and they'll both be in the top 6 of the table, you'd have said I've been drinking all day, you know.
Yes, I would have done, Jamie. I tell you what, let's get just a quick reaction from the Warrington camp. John is with Richie Myler.
Richie Myler, great game today. Bit of a sore ankle, but what's the reaction to the Leeds draw?
Yeah, I mean, any one of them 4 teams are going to be a great side to play against. Castleford were outstanding the other night against Wigan, so no, it was a tough draw either way.
Yeah, turnaround in form. What's been the secret to that?
I think all the boys have just really ripped in. We got turned over at this place not long ago, and I think that was a bit of the kick up behind that we needed, and we thought the boys did a good performance tonight.
Yeah, you got a special link with Wembley, haven't you, this club?
Oh, we've been there a couple of times, yeah, but I mean, it's always tough. It's going to be a tough semi-final. We know Leeds are good in big games, so we've got to be good against them.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers, John.
Thank you very much, John. We'll have plenty more reaction to that semi-final draw. Widnes taking on Castleford and Warrington will take on Leeds. We'll be on the red button for the next half hour. We'll analyse all of Warrington's 8 tries. We've got a cracking semi-final lineup and some cracking rugby league to come here on the BBC. Bye-bye.
From the worlds of hockey, cycling and boxing, next on BBC Two, inspiring stories on the Olympic journey.
Well, we witnessed a scintillating qualifying session yesterday for the Canadian Grand Prix. It was Nico Rosberg who just snatched pole position from Lewis Hamilton, making it his third of the season. Glorious conditions for the race, so make sure you're in front of your television at 6:20. It's on BBC One and it's going to be a cracker.
What's the hardest thing about being a foster parent? You're constantly trying to build the elusive trust.
It's like a big old question mark in your heart.
I just try to do the best I can for them while they're with me.
Join Lorraine Pascal as she looks at stories of fostering.
I wasn't happy at all, but now I am.
Including her own.
Nice to know finally where I came to the world.
To know that you've grown up and had such a successful life is lovely.
Fostering and Me with Lorraine Pascal. Thursday the 19th of June on BBC Two and BBC Two HD.
Be inspired now on BBC Two. Gabby Logan's on the Olympic journey.
The road to sporting success can be long and hard, but it's the people around an athlete that can make the journey easier. Coaches, teammates, family and friends. Their support is crucial when things get tough. It can be the difference between success and failure, giving up or carrying on.
With less than 50 days to go before the start of the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, in today's show we're going to meet 3 sports people for whom their relationships have been key to their sporting success.